is 9. My brain is slow. Okay. Welcome everybody. We're so excited to talk a little bit about peptides. We're going to share our personal journeys and talk a little bit about LEMD, the telehealth concierge business that you may or may not have heard of. But if you're here, you've probably heard of it from somebody. My name is Kim Moore. I've been with LEMD. Oh, it's Jessica. I have been with LEMD since, oh gosh, August of last year. So I am definitely past my 1 year anniversary mark with LEMD. Um, I started with them as a affiliate, but mainly because I was intrigued on using peptides for my own health journey. And so what I would like to do today is tell you a little bit about my journey. I'm going to pass it over to Cheyenne, who is going to share a little bit about her journey, and then she'll pass it to Brianne, who will share a little bit about her journey and LEMD, and then we'll answer any questions. And then we're going to turn it over and talk a little bit about the affiliate side of the business and what that looks like and how you can partner with LEMD and become an affiliate and share this with your clients and or your patients. So um, a little bit about me. Like I said, I joined in August first as as an affiliate, but I was mainly looking for my own health purposes. I had been struggling for years with inflammation, brain fog, digestive issues, gas that would start like in the afternoon every single day. That was awful, and it would go all the way until the next day. My stomach would be totally distended, and I just every day felt absolutely terrible. I was irritable. My mood was bad. And no matter what I did, nothing would fix it. I tried every diet, every protocol. I literally worked with every single diet or doctor known to mankind. And they could all get me kind of right. But the minute I went and did anything outside of the lines that they drew in the sand for me, like protocol wise, everything just came roaring back. And it wasn't until I worked with my last functional doctor that spent a year very strict diet with him, doing several different protocols, doing all the different testing, that my blood work really didn't change after 1 year. And he looked at me and said, I really just don't know what's going on. He tried to push me towards a carnivore diet, and I was very against it because I just didn't want to have any more restrictions in my life because for 3 years I had been struggling. And so when I kind of shut that down, he was like, well, a lot of my counterparts are using peptides in small doses. And they're having a lot of success with microdosing GLP-1 peptides. And at that time, I had no idea what peptides were. And I said, what's that? He's like, well, you may know it as Ozempic. And I, immediately was like, you're crazy. This is definitely not for me. I can't do that. And so I remember I left his office and I was like, gosh, like, I feel like I just wasted so much money. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But that kind of stuck in my head. And as I continued to try to heal myself through diet and exercise and eliminating different foods and all the things, that kind of stuck in my mind. And I started to do my own research. And what I started to realize through talking with others and reading and listening to some people who had been using peptides for a long time is that they actually heal on a cellular level and they aren't just all about weight loss. There's a lot more to them, not just what we know. And so in November of last year, I finally decided to give it a try. And so I started microdosing very, very low dose. I was absolutely terrified. And I will tell you, by the time Christmas hit, I was down 8 pounds. I had no more gas, no more distension in my stomach. I was actually going to the bathroom regularly, whereas before I would be so chronically constipated that I would, be able to use the restroom, but then it would turn into like the complete opposite of diarrhea or of constipation. And it was just absolutely terrible to live with. Let's see. Sorry, I should have given someone else the ability to admit. I got a couple people coming in. And so after using them for, oh yes, let's see. Sorry. So after using peptides for just a short period of time and microdosing tirzepatide, I was just astounded by how quickly my body was reacting and how fast I was starting to feel better. And so I carried on with my journey through April, but I started to notice other things with the microdosing, things like my joints feeling better. I had torn my ACL and my meniscus back let's see, and there's another person coming back in May of 2023. And with that surgery, I had also gained a lot of weight. And so that was part of also the reason why I was looking at the microdosing because I could not lose the weight. But so I started looking at other peptides to try to help me with my knee. And so BPC 157 TB 500 is definitely one that I was looking at because of the healing properties of it. And actually, let me put up a slide. Do we want to use the slides? I should have given somebody the ability to share because I'm trying to approve everybody and it's a lot. Hold on.
You can
Sorry,
do
you
it.
guys. Now, where did I put it? Oh my gosh, I lost it, Cheyenne. Do you want to share it?
Yeah, I
Can
will.
you share? I can give that way I'm not admitting everybody and sharing the screen. All
I
right,
just need
guys.
access. Sure. So
Oh, there you
down
go.
below. Okay.
Hold on, give you access. How do I give
Yeah.
you access?
So on the bottom, when it clicks share, you can click and have options and give other people access to share.
Mm, share. Um, can you share now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Sorry, guys. Okay. Now I'm gonna get my brain right. All right. So, anyway, so I started to look to other peptides to help me heal. And so with my knee, it had been a year. So I had started on the GLP-1s and I noticed that the inflammation in that knee had gone down. I was actually able to push more weight. But I still, in a year's time, I was not able to really see a lot of growth within the strength in that leg. And in fact, I couldn't do one leg extension on the leg extension machine in a year's time past surgery and reconstruction of that leg. So I started implementing BPC 157 TB 500. I first did the capsule form because I thought it would also help with my gut and heal my gut because I was still, wanting to focus on that gut healing. And so just with the tablets, I noticed within 30 days, I went from being able to not one single leg extension on my left leg on the lowest weight to increasing the weight to 50 pounds on the one leg and being able to do like 3 sets of 12. I was like absolutely mind blown. I wasn't even doing the injection form. A lot of the other things I noticed with the BPC 157 TB 500 were things like recovery and things like I don't normally like, I'm very regimented with my lifestyle, but I noticed things like recovery from, staying up late or over pushing training, or if I went out and had like a couple of cocktails, normally I'd wake up and feel a little foggy, but I would wake up and just feel really, really amazing. And if you don't know what BPC 157 TB 500 is, it's the ultimate repair and recovery duo. It's dubbed the Wolverine stack. Aaron Rodgers actually used it to accelerate the healing of his Achilles tendon when he tore it a few years back. So it was talked a little bit about then, but a lot of people didn't really know what it was. And so it really can just promote tissue repair and healing at the cellular level. Like I mentioned, it's really good for our gut. It can repair the gut and intestinal lining. For anybody who's had any ligament or tendon injuries, it can actually help promote healing in those areas. In fact, I know several people who have had rotator cuff injuries, and through injecting BPC 157 TB 500, they've actually been able to avoid surgeries and things like that. So, this peptide for me, coupled with the tirzepatide, the microdosing, has been really, quite honestly, very impactful. I actually took a break from the BPC 157 TB 500, the Wolverine stack, for about a month, and now I'm actually back on it. And the recovery for me that I see is just so worth it. And when I do come off of it, I actually do notice a huge difference in how I feel. And so this is one I think I'm constantly going to keep cycling on. The way we prescribe it at LEMD, it's a 2-month protocol. So um, you do it for 2 months and then come off for a couple weeks and then go back on. But really, this is one that you can stay on long term. And I do feel though, after doing both the pill and the injection form, that the injection does actually work a little bit better, which I did notice that it was just a little bit stronger than the capsule form. So that was my story. It wasn't beautifully done because there was so much going on. But I do want to pass it over because we are 12 minutes in over to Cheyenne, who's a nurse who some of you may know to kind of share her story and how she's partnering with Ellie and what she's using.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Kim. I love Kim's story because it's really an example of like what I feel is like a huge issue, like post-COVID era. There's a lot of metabolism issues going on, and there's a lot of histamine issues going on, and it's causing these really weird reactions with like normal labs. So a lot of people are left without answers. A little bit about me is I'm a registered nurse, but hold on, sorry. I have trained in functional medicine. I used to do like ozone therapy for doctors. We did a lot of pellet hormone therapy, things like that. But in the last few years, I started really getting into peptides. Well, I didn't think tirzepatide was like for me because I actually wanted to gain weight, but I was so sick from long haul COVID that I just needed answers. And I actually ran like some of my glucose and insulin because my doctors didn't run it. And I was like almost a skinny diabetic after COVID. Like I had crazy insulin, crazy cortisol issues. And Brienne actually brought to my attention that I can use it in small doses for inflammatory conditions. And Brienne has Hashimoto's. I have Hashimoto's, so I was like really drawn to her story. But I had no idea how to use it and what dosing. And so with LEMD, they sent me, if you don't have a qualifying BMI, you can do their microdose option, which comes in 2.5 milligrams, but you can work with your clients and share that if you want to go smaller, you can go smaller. The good part is you can draw it up with a needle. So you actually have control, and so do your clients of the dosing, and they can find their magic dose. So I chose tirzepatide to present on because I do feel like it's a foundational peptide. Like I never brought this to people first, and now it's the first thing I talk to people, even if they don't come to me with weight issues. So what I like about it is everyone hears of Ozempic, but that's a GLP-1, and this is a GLP GIP plus a little bit of B12 in it. The GIP has a little bit more insulin sensitivity factors, and then there's not as much muscle loss and side effects as semaglutide. So if your client or person wanting to purchase can't afford this, this is, I think, a definitely better option than semaglutide. I have seen still amazing benefits on semaglutide. I just talked to somebody yesterday who had um, microdosed it. In a year and a half, she lost 40 pounds microdosing semaglutide. Like that is incredible. And she's doing really well. So a few other things that I want to bring to mind is it can decrease inflammation. I have seen arthritis go away within days. I've seen A1Cs change, CRPs. I've seen lipids like triglycerides change. I've even seen homocysteine change, which brings me to another thing. How many people do you know who have MTHFR? Ton of people. Raquel, Brienne. So homocysteine is a marker of methylation and getting enough B vitamins in to protect yourself from like stroke and heart disease. I- I've seen some people's, no matter what, how many B vitamins they took, their homocysteine finally went down with tirzepatide. So any of your MTHFR clients, and Tom Nicola is kind of leading the pack with this information, but he talks a lot about how MTHFR people can really benefit from tirzepatide. Um, it can really help with gut inflammation, as we saw with Kim. A lot of people complain that it can actually like slow bowels, but I do think that if it lowers the inflammation in the bowel and a client works slow, then bowel function can remain normal and sometimes even improve. Um, so I kind of covered the insulin part, the blood sugars. I just noticed like I stopped obsessing about food and snacking. I didn't realize how obsessed with like protein and snacking I was because I had such unstable blood sugars. And now I just eat for like fuel. Like whatever I grab is going not going to crash me, which is like a whole nother effect, especially when you've been like obsessed with eating healthy, like for your conditions forever. Some of the types of condition it's best for, obviously, your client is coming for weight loss. It can go so 15 pounds or less, I usually tell them to look into the microdose. If they're more than 20 pounds, they usually have a BMI that's going to qualify them, but they have to go through the LEMD portal and get qualified. And so if you just talk to them right away, Kim, what's the BMI to get the weight loss tier dose?
27,
New
25.
25. New BMI is 25. Yeah.
Oh, it's 25 now. So 25,
Mhm.
they can get a weight loss dose, right? But anything less than 25, you can talk about the benefits of microdosing and they're going to still get weight loss. I've seen 10 to 15. I even had a girl have 25-pound weight loss since July on the 2.5 dose. Metabolic syndrome, inflammatory conditions, like I said, MCAS, long hauler. Dr. Christine Schaffner and other leading doctors have talked about using GLP peptides to help with MCAS. I think it's personally helped me and several other people. Um, Perimenopause and hormonal weight gain. I just feel like it's such a gift for women in perimenopause. I've just seen that their bodies just like all of a sudden stop working overnight and they're like, where do I even start? I can't sleep. I'm gaining weight. I don't feel well. I'm inflamed. And then I could just see like I think it helps mitochondrial dysfunction because we can see like if you don't have proper glucose uptake, like you don't have proper fuel for the mitochondria. And then just longevity and cellular health. Now that I've seen labs change and people's lives change, I'm like, what can this do for our longevity? I believe it can add years to people's lives, even if they start later in life. I just feel I'm excited for the future because of peptides. I think that it's just such a cool thing. And I've pretty much tried everything in functional medicine and alternative healing. So that's kind of my story. So I'll turn it to Brienne and she can share. She loves tirzepatide. Obviously, we all do. We all are like, who's going to cover tirzepatide? Because it's, the number one. But we brought up some other ones that Ellie has that have really helped in our own journeys.
Hey, so I'm Brienne. I'm also an RN, and I have a functional medicine background. I have a master's in nutrition and functional medicine, and I do coaching mostly with people with autoimmune issues, specifically Hashimoto's. I got Hashimoto's or developed it after my first daughter was born. I was misdiagnosed. She's 23, by the way. I was misdiagnosed for a long time, probably 9 years. It was just, oh, you have hypothyroidism. Here's some levothyroxine. And then I don't know, at one point, I was always fit. I was always active. I used to compete in CrossFit. And I probably kind of overdid it and taxed my adrenals to just like the super fun point of almost no return. I went to a naturopath and he was like, "You have Hashimoto's," and I honestly I'd never even really heard of it. I was like, "Okay, whatever. Like, can you fix me?" Um, he of course put me on a crazy diet. I was already pretty paleo at that point. Because that's what we did back then when we did CrossFit, we did paleo. And so I was already pretty paleo, so I was already on a restrictive diet. He tweaked that a little. He added some supplements. Some things got a little bit better. And then I was, fairly stable for a while and it just I don't know, it could have been COVID, it could have been perimenopause, it could have been years of stress, but I got to the point where nothing was working. I'd had a couple more pregnancies and there was weight I couldn't lose, but I also did not feel good. I had, two babies. I'd breastfed for years at that point. But nothing was working. My brain fog, I was on so many supplements. I can't even tell you, probably over $300 worth of supplements a month. And and things would work for a little while and then I would just feel worse. And then I was counting every macro and strength training and walking, doing just all the things and not feeling bad, sleeping, tracking my sleep, like um, doing everything I possibly could. And just, I had joint pain, I had fatigue, I had brain fog, and like I just had to function because I'm an RN and I still have to work and I still have to raise a family. And I had learned about microdosing tirzepatide. And so I was like, okay, I want to dig in. So I dug in, I did the research. I was like, okay, I want to try this. Well, then I couldn't find anyone who would prescribe it, of course, because I looked fine. And my nurse practitioner didn't prescribe that. She's like, if you can find someone to prescribe it, I'm all for it. And then I found Kim, and she's like, we microdose with Ellie. And I was like, tell me more, all of it. Signed up as an affiliate, and I've never been happier. I probably also have MCAS. I've never been diagnosed, but I did have a good 3.5 year long rash that no one could treat, and I got presented to a dermatological society for because nothing worked to fix it. She wanted to put me on methotrexate, and I said no. So, like tirzepatide alone has been life changing, but then adding in other peptides and other like products, right? So we also have glutathione, which is another big one. That I have MTHFR. So if you have MTHFR, glutathione's our big, it's our biggest ticket, really. It's our master antioxidant. We need probably more of it than the people without any sort of SNP, like methylation issue. It's necessary for liver, it's necessary for thyroid conversion, it's necessary for immune balance. It like naturally declines with age, but also it can decline with just med use and Hashimoto's and so many other just stressors, right? We're just exposed to so much in our daily environment. And I personally like work in a surgical environment, and I know I'm exposed to a lot. Like I know that we like anesthesia waste gas is a big one that I get exposed to because we breathe it off after surgery. People breathe it off for up to 2 hours. And I'm a PACU nurse, right? So I'm just breathing in, I'm like microdosing anesthesia all day long when I'm working with my patient. But I don't even get the benefits of it. So glutathione's needed to help remove all those toxins from our body. It also is necessary. Honestly, most of the people I work with who are on tirzepatide, I recommend glutathione almost before I recommend anything else because once you start losing fat, you want to mobilize the toxins that are released in your body with fat loss, and glutathione does that, and it helps remove them because if you just let those toxins recirculate, they're going to find other cells to sort of glom onto. It's going to support that mitochondrial repair. It does help with the GLP-1 fatigue. So sometimes people feel a little fatigued from their GLPs, and that's why I love it because for me, it gives me a ton of energy when I take it. It helps support thyroid, reduces antibodies, which is a big one. If you have Hashimoto's, you want to get your antibodies down because those can be really damaging. And then it protects us from immune damage. So any sort of autoimmune issue, really. And then again, energy and clarity, resilience. I took it with me. I just went to Texas. I flew on an airplane. I will say there's a lot of things about COVID I did not appreciate, but what I did appreciate was travel. Because now the airports are so full with so many people coughing and sneezing and spreading their germs, that I took a dose of glutathione before I left, and I took one when I was in Texas. So it's it's like necessary, honestly, I think for everybody. I think it's good for us to cycle it. I probably will cycle it probably about 4 times a year, if not more, depending on the season. Um, but I just will say that like digging into peptides has been just life changing for me. It's not even life changing, it was like life giving. Like I just feel
Mhm.
like a different person. I'm one of those people that just responded really well to a microdose, and I've lost probably 30 pounds, almost 20, at least 27 pounds, and most of it was inflammation.
Mhm.
I look at pictures of myself from a year ago, and I don't even recognize myself. Like my face looks totally different, my body's totally different. Like, and I feel like normal again for the first time in like 20 years.
Awesome. How many times a week are you taking the glutathione, Kim?
I take
Or
glutathione.
sorry, Brienne. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say we
No,
both
it's
we
good.
both
I
I think
take
we
I
both
take
take
it
it.
too.
I take it like 2 or 3 times a week. Kind of
Okay.
depends on the week.
I haven't tried it yet, actually. I don't know if anyone else has tried it on this call, but
I'm actually not on it right now and I miss it so bad. And I did it like starting last year in December or no, November. And I wasn't sick one time, like not one thing. And my house had every single thing and I didn't get one thing.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Even
Yeah.
with just the terzepatide, like I'm allergic to air in July in Washington State. Like I'm allergic to just grass mostly. And so my allergies, I will just like live off of Zyrtec. Like I have a Zyrtec every day or I can't function. I used to take myself to IKEA so I could get like HEPA filtered air so I could stop allergy attacks. I'd be like, I can't stop it. We got to go to IKEA. And I would just wander around so I could breathe again. And I have had one allergy attack this entire season.
And I think also glutathione, which a lot of people don't talk about, is the skin benefits are really
Oh yeah.
amazing. Like your skin will legit glow. Like everybody was like, "Oh, your skin looks so good." The whole time I did glutathione, like, and all throughout the winter, I'm typically like real dry and I feel like dull, but my skin was like so good, like
Yeah.
so
yeah.
bright.
And speaking of skin, we have that. We have GHK copper, and then we have a face cream that's uh it's
Yeah, the
got
serum.
GHK copper.
It has GHKCU, yeah, GHK copper, it has NAD, it has tretinoin, two weights of hyaluronic acid, spilanthel, which is nature's Botox. It has vitamin C. I'm missing something.
And that's a
There's some.
prescription as
It is
well.
prescription. Yeah, it's a prescription, Greg. And I will say the big thing about that skincare that a lot of people don't know about is it's not just a prescription grade skincare. The pharmacy and our partner with Ellie that we've partnered with, not only do they have the largest active peptide ingredient catalog in the whole United States, but they had developed a absorption technology that allows us to absorb very big molecules. So the Olivatech is what we are calling it. It is a technology that we actually have licensed from them. And it is in the skincare. So typically, when we put any skincare on our face or skin or anything, it just kind of sits and doesn't really penetrate deep into the dermis. It penetrates about 300 Daltons. This allows us to penetrate up to 1 million Daltons. So it gets to that bottom layer of the dermis. And I have noticed a huge difference in my skin. I have so much sun damage. Yay, baby oil. And it is literally gone. All of my forehead, the bad damage on my forehead is gone. I'm actually even noticing my 11 lines um, going away as well. And because it does have that NAD in there and the GHKCU and it is going into the skin, we do get systemic benefits from it as well. So that is always like a benefit. The tube is big. It's about like this big, about this fat. There's 128 pumps. I actually had my first one I was using, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had so much left. So I put it literally in my whole face, my neck, my chest. I do my hands and my arms because I have sun damage on my arms. I put it everywhere, and it lasts me like over a month. It's really, really good product.
Awesome. So whoever has joined and wants to learn more about the business, I think we want to go into that and talk about our experience. But if you just wanted to come on and chat peptides and how they can help you, you can definitely reach out to whoever invited you to like order those peptides and make sure that you're, if you want to try a new one, you can talk to one of us who can help you. But Kim, do you want to talk a little bit more about your experience with the business? Kim's not a medical professional, so this is coming from her point of view, and then we can talk, Brianne and I, more about our experience.
Yeah. And so, like I said, when I began, I really signed up as an affiliate to get discount on my product if I was going to go down this route. And I had also started prior to that a Instagram account where I was really focused on nutrition and just helping busy parents like learn how to cook because there's always something people are like, oh, I can't lose weight because I don't know how to cook and I don't know how to cook for my family. So I would share my recipes that I had created and share the macros. And that's how I actually, but I started then talking about like what I was doing on there. And all of a sudden, all these people were like, oh, that sounds like me. Wait, what are you doing? And so all of a sudden, there was all this interest in what I was doing. So I started sharing more, just really in stories. And every once in a while, I'd throw out a reel about my GLP-1 journey. I was actually still very like ashamed of it and kind of just not sure like my what people would think because I had always been this person who lifted weights, worked out and done all the things, and to say that I was like using this tool was like hard to admit. So and anyway, that's how I found Brienne. Brienne, messaged me and was curious, and she was struggling with her own struggles, and we got to talking. And so really just through sharing my story and telling people about my journey and how I'm utilizing these tools in ways that most people didn't know was an option, is what kind of got me to where I am with Ellie. I'm a founding member, so I've been here for a long time, but I really didn't start sharing my story until I would say about at Christmas time, January ish time frame. And I will say since then, I also did lose my job in October prior to this, but I started sharing my story more because of that. And I knew there was also the opportunity to earn income here. And since January, I've replaced my corporate salary. And quite honestly, I've been looking for a job since January. The job market is terrible. And so I feel really blessed because I don't know where my family would be without my income. We are a two household income family. We do need that to pay our bills. And beyond just the ability to, make income, I have so much flexibility in my life and like what I'm doing. It's so nice to have this flexibility and be able to go on field trips with my kids and work on my time and what that looks like, which isn't like your normal 9 to 5. But beyond that, I mean, I've helped probably like 100 women gain access to peptides and educate them on a tool that's changed so many lives. And people reach out to me all the time from women who, unknown things like me, perimenopause, rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's, lupus, like just so many different people from all walks of life, and even just weight loss clients who just feel like, that food noise just was preventing them from getting to the next step. So that's just a little bit about me and my journey with Ellie. But the community here is just amazing. It's built of everybody, people like me, people like Cheyenne and Brienne, OBGYNs, plastic surgeons, wellness spas, estheticians, like the community is just so amazing and uplifting and empowering, and everybody really has come here for, I would say, like the right reasons and the right mindset. And I think it's a pretty powerful place to be and uplifting. So I'll pass it to Cheyenne.
Yeah, I wanted to go over it quickly, like if, especially if you're new, like how you would go about doing it and how I started personally. So I was dabbling with research peptides, but I couldn't really make a lucrative business off of it because I was like, where's my liability at? Where is like I have to follow up with these clients a lot. I also work full time and I just I felt like with the mixing and like I was 100% of their support, it got too overwhelming. And when I met Brianne, it was like you use a telehealth platform, so you share your links, but like they are transferred to a medical provider by filling out a form. Like basically, when you're having conversations, you can list your top products. You can have mini consultations with people. You can tell them, Tirzepatide changed my life. Here's the link. They can go and they fill out a form to qualify. So you don't have to qualify them. Like they're at least screening for like, people with active cancer can't have peptides, other things like growths or certain just for each peptides, there's certain ones that they can approve or deny. And so what's nice is they have to go through that system. They get approved or denied within like a couple days. Then they get their prescription sent to them, and then they get their online, and then they get their products to them. They're already pre-mixed from a pharmacy with their dose and their name and date of birth on the bottle, like a medication with all their supplies and alcohol swabs. So really, I just like simplified my life. So I turned it into more of an affiliate model and link. And Kim had told me like once you do more volume, you make more off the product. So I wanted to do a certain amount of volume, so I got 40% of the purchase. And so that's kind of how I ran with the model. I wasn't really reaching out to other people. I just shared my links and my guides. And I have an Instagram where I share about peptides, and that's how I utilize it personally. And then I've just started inviting some people to learn more about it because really the best model, I feel like this company pays you for your personal volume, whether you ever have a team under you, whether you ever talk to anyone else. Team building is also there as an option if you want it. Because I've had several people interested, so they've reached out to me and they're now building their teams or they're incorporating into their health coaching business or whatsoever. So the first part to make the money is your personal volume. It's like, and it's really the GLP, GIPs where what is the numbers, Kim, off of like they're gonna pay $279 a month for a 10 milligram vial and they get 3 months worth. They buy 3 months worth, and that's around like 800 something dollars.
Yeah, and then you make 400 of that, or 40% of that.
40% of that. So that's like the margins you're making. And you get paid over the 3 months with them because they've purchased 3 months. So you're making, I don't know what is it, it was it 240?
Well, because of Stark laws, we do have to minus out the cost of the medication and the doctors. So I'll just do semaglutide because I know the math really, really well. So semaglutide is 299. We get paid on 220. So you get what, 80, what is that, $88? $80? I think that's $80 a month.
I'm doing the tirzepatide math.
I don't know that math as well. Oh, tirzepatide is 222, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's two, yeah.
So you make $264 off of a tirzepatide order. So that's like kind of how you can think in your mind. And then when Kim told me if you basically do 23 customers in a month, like that's $6,000. So that's kind of how I was like, hey, I'm going to make it a goal to have 23 customers a month so I can make the $6,000. And that's kind of how it's helped me and my brand. But now at this point, it's making more money than my job. So then I was like, okay, this is definitely like finally a lucrative way to share peptides. And then it took all the back end off of me. Like they can message providers in their portal. They can also check in with you. Like if you really are working with the clients one to one, or if like sometimes I consult with clients, but a lot of my peptide clients have never even spoken to me and I'm making that money. They are going to my links, purchasing, and they'll like message me weeks later and be like, I'm feeling amazing. Like, thanks for sharing the LAMD.
Mhm.
And so I know Brianne and Kim kind of have I didn't join that call, but there is like more coming down the pipeline for LAMD and like really exciting stuff to share, especially as like the peptide market, it can be competitive. So I think where LA stands out is like they are getting their own pharmacy to control even more. Um, they're starting a new pharmacy to control more variables, and then they're going to be doing diagnostics and specialty compounds as well.
Yeah, and bioidentical hormones, and as well as blood diagnostic testing. So I will say we grew really, really fast. Just to give you an idea of growth, we're evaluated at over $130 million in 1 year, 3,000% growth in 1 year. And so the growth far exceeded what anybody thought would happen. So first we had to kind of go back and work on hiring people because we needed customer support and to round out some different pieces. But yes, like Cheyenne said, we are now going into our own pharmacy. It's going to be called Clover RX. It is still affiliated with that partnership pharmacy that I mentioned in the beginning. But now we have our own designated facility where it is strictly all of LEMD products. But this is going to allow us now to do personalized peptide stacking. We're going to start with GLP-1 products where they're going to be able to add boosters to their products. So they're going to be able to add things like glycine, NAD, B12, L-carnitine, and so on. From there, we're going to be able to start stacking peptides into one vial. So based on if they can be stacked based on the peptides, based on whatever that person is using or whatever their goals are. Beyond that, what we're also going to be able to do, and this is another piece that they're working on now, is the financing options and the credit card processing. Because what we want to do ultimately is have them go to the website and fill out like a form or take a quiz. And then what it will do is spit them out a peptide cycle that maybe will encompass like several months, and that will run them through different peptides. And then what would happen is they would be billed for those at the end of every like peptide. So they would like start with, I don't know, let's say they start with glutathione, and then they go into NAD, and then they go into like BPC, and then it would like kind of cycle them through those. It would be on an auto ship Because the cool thing about the commission structure, like Cheyenne mentioned, it is rolling and it does compound. So because these are subscriptions, the first month, you get theirs, but then you also have them in the bank for the next couple months as well. Our retention rate is 94%. So it is super, super high. Typically, once someone uses an LEMD peptide, they are now like, well, what else can I do? What else? I now want to build strength. I want to do this. So they'll start looking at some of those other peptides. But we are coming out with the bioidentical hormones. It's a big push for us to have those by Q1 in January, so the beginning of the year. Along with that, though, we'll have to become the blood diagnostics testing. What that's going to look like is a little butterfly. It's like a kind of like a Band-Aid will go on your arm. There's a button, you press it, it'll draw the blood. The patient will put it into a prepaid envelope. They'll send that off and it will go to the lab. And then all of that information will get sent to the LEMD provider for reading and then tailoring of whatever hormone protocol that they would need to be in line with their blood work. So that is kind of some of the things that we are doing and where we are going. Beyond that, we're going to be launching some more longevity peptides that people really want, like epitalin, Slank, BAM, Sloop, if you know what those are. And so the goal of the CEO is to be a fully functional telehealth platform online that's accessible and affordable to everybody.
I know it's late for some people, especially on East Coast, so I want to make sure if there's any questions right now, you guys can ask them. We were going to try to keep it short, like 30 minutes. Now we're at 45 minutes. So I do apologize. But does anyone have any questions before they log off? You can also connect with us too, like individually this week, if you just want to like kind of walk through your business, how it looks, Ellie can be utilized and like a seamless process. So does anyone have a question that they just want to ask? Or because like I'll just tell you, Kim has been here the longest and she knows quite a bit of the logistics side of it. And so she's a great person to ask questions while she's here.
No, I think can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to I just want to say it's great to connect with like-minded women who are as passionate about peptides and GLP-1s. I have my own story like we all do, but I really jumped on board about 8 months ago. So, and all things peptides on the research side. So
Yeah.
maybe converting, but no, it's great.
Welcome.
Thank you.
She has an awesome page too, if you guys want to follow
I know,
her.
I'll need to go follow you. Will you put your handle in the chat?
Sure. Let's see.
Yeah, she's really good at peptides. Is there anyone else before we end tonight? I just like if there's questions about if you have objections, if you've just like not started your business yet, if you have been in business and some things are harder conversations that you're having, is there anything that you guys want to cover?
No, I see Amanda says she's definitely interested in this option. So yeah, I would definitely say, oh yeah, I'm on your page now, Jessica. I would definitely say reach out to whoever invited you and we can have more conversations. I'm happy to jump on if anything comes up, or we can even go in three-way chats and talk that way too. So anything you guys need, we're here to answer any of your questions. But
I will say, we mentioned MCAS on this call, and I tried tirzepatide research, and the pharmacy option was much better for me. Like it hit my body at a much different level. So, especially when you're talking MCAS.
Our Honey's our CEO. She did a tour of our pharmacy pretty recently, and she kind of talked about how our peptides are triple filtered, which I mean you're just not going to get that right on the research market. Like you're not going to get a triple filtered peptide that has been tested for
yeah,
anything
I
shouldn't
don't
be in
respond
there.
I don't respond the same with research ones, even though sometimes I'll be like, hey, there's one because we can't get it in the pharmacy yet. It's
Right.
such a more medicinal experience, and then I don't have to use as many other peptides. That's definitely something I've really noticed, and others around me have as well.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do kind of geek out with all the unique products, though, I have to say. There's
Oh,
so
I
many
know.
incredible
Oh, I
ones,
know.
Yeah.
it's
But
yeah,
the CEO, I'm stoked, Jessica, because she knows about like MOTS-C and some other stuff that's hard
okay,
to get in
good.
pharmacies. And she's working on the MOTS-C, the epithalin, C-Max-Link, Sloop,
Awesome.
the ones that are really like making the difference. And that was like huge to me because I'm like, that means she knows what she's doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, of course. Yeah.
And the only reason, honestly, I thought they were going to release a lot of those or in August, but like I said, the growth has just been so crazy here that their other priorities have just taken place, and so she had to do those first. So, but we
Well,
are
there's
getting
also
there.
all the other crap legality wise, I'm sure too, to be realistic, right? That it's
Yeah.
crazy, but yeah,
Yeah, this is a hard business to operate in, I will say.
especially right now with big pharma, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, and she really has it locked down, but I think a lot of it has to do with the partners in the pharmacies. And we have, like I said, really great partner in the pharmacy. And I mean, we can really get anything we want. And I think the biggest thing for her too is having the people that can push them. Like we are obviously the biggest peptides that we have are the GLP-1s, because those are weight loss. Those are like a big hook for people. It's a big lever. But the more people we get, like you and Amanda and Cheyenne and Brianne, who actually know about the other peptides, who, those fine-tuned levers and can really start talking about and educating those, I think, that also opens it up for us to get those quicker. She also takes what we want very serious. Like we all wanted Tessa and IPA, and she kind of, was a little slow, and then finally she like launched it for us, and it's done really, really good. So she always listens to what we want to.
We also have other, and it's hard to see it when you're not logged in, but we have other peptides we didn't mention. NAD that we didn't mention, that's the top
Yeah.
seller. And then
Morellin.
we've got
Yeah.
some more glutathione. We've got PT-141, like a thrill pill,
Napsin.
synapsin spray, and then we've got NAD nasal spray as well. We've got a BPC TB500 pill and injection. And then anything else in like longevity and microdosing that I'm missing? Tessa IPA blend.
Yeah, and that's both. Yeah, no, that's it for right now.
I actually have a quick question. I know you guys mentioned the GHKCU
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
lotion. Have you guys looked into AHK?
Mm-mm.
So
It's
she is
really for
actually,
hair growth. It's better
oh,
than
interesting.
GHK, so it actually
Okay.
works on the. So I was just curious, wanted to put that out there.
She's actually she's coming out with another skincare. So her previous company, she did like peptide, it was like skincare pharmaceutical stuff. It wasn't like her dream, this is her dream, but I know that she is testing something now, but I don't know what's in it. Hey, Raquel, I know you have your hand
Yeah.
up too.
Yeah. And your AirPods are sounding kind of staticky, Kim, just so you know.
Oh, are they? Thank you.
I heard in the meeting that we had a week or two ago, we'd be doing personal stacks. Does that mean like if I'm taking, because like right now I feel like my belly is like this pin cushion, because I'm taking like 4 different things. So does that mean that all those could be combined in one vial?
Depending, yeah, eventually, yes, but not everything can go in the same vial. Some counter, like you can't put some things with other things, but yeah, you will be able to do that eventually. Yeah.
Do we have kind of an ETA on that, or?
I think once the personalized peptide stacks roll out, and when she adds in some of these other peptides she wants to do so that she can do these cycles, yes, I think then it will come. So I don't know the ETA. Let's
Okay.
see. We'll see
You
what they announce.
also, Raquel, you can also go research which ones you can combine and start to look into that and then just combine them in your needle yourself.
Yeah.
That would be great because they're
Yeah, I actually have a document somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Raquel, if I
Yeah,
don't send it to you tomorrow, just text me and remind me.
okay. Yeah, that would be great because I'm running out of space sometimes. I
pin
have
on your butt. Pin on your butt.
Or your legs or your arms.
That's
I
like
did my glutathione in my butt.
I do my
Briefly. And
mops.
I
I do
do
my
my
day-to-day.
underarms right here. I like jiggle my
Okay.
arm and then just like jab it up in there.
Mm.
Well, so
No,
it's
my
just
butt,
a
and I
sub-Q
use
needle.
Benadryl, and on my butt. That's it.
Yeah, I can't do better. Oh, that stuff knocks me on my.
No, the topical
Oh,
or
okay.
Neosporin with lidocaine.
Okay.
So always
Oh,
have that.
that's
Yeah,
smart.
I'll
That's
need
smart.
some.
I keep before I even touch Glow. That goes on my skin.
Oh yeah, that's
Mm.
sting. That can sting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Love
to know.
it.
Good to know. Yeah, I'll reach
So,
out.
so can carnitine. So if we do add when we might have carnitine as an option, we'll need to definitely share that because carnitine can be a big stinger, but it's
Yeah, I
really
have
good for
some in my
fat
fridge right now.
metabolism.
Yeah.
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 I'm nervous about the needle size, so
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll wrap this up just because it's late on the East Coast. So, thank you, ladies, for joining us tonight. It was really cool to just share our tips and tricks too on peptides. Very exciting, like Jess said, to have like-minded people together. And if you guys, whoever you know on this call that we spoke, just reach out to us this week if you want to set up a call and just chat more. That's the best way. And everyone have a great rest of your week.
Yes. Bye, everybody. Thank
bye.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.